Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Good morning. How you doing, man? I'm just kidding. Well, it's another beautiful morning to be alive. I want to welcome each and every one of you who are here early on the dot, man. The numbers look good from the jump. Tag your friends. Tag them. Tell them come. Yeah, we got some things to talk today. It's like the more you can talk to these people, the less they listen. I may not understand it. Who advising these political parties in St. Kitts and Nevis? Whoever advising them coming back with the same old garbage. Oh my God. Let me just start right there. Same old garbage. And the garbage will continue to happen as long as they are enablers. For those of us right now who we want, and people, I apologize for jumping straight into it, but I wake up with a kind of fire in my eye, Rasta. I went sleep with it and I wake up with it because I'm sitting and I'm watching it being played out yet again. And it's like, nobody pay attention, my lad. Nobody paying attention. Nobody. Wow. I saw a post yesterday afternoon, right, from a good buddy of mine. And I stopped hoping about these things. It is what it is. Because if big people ain't gonna put the welfare of the country above their own personal preference and their own personal agendas and their own personal likes, then we should not regard them as anything other than looking out for themselves and being selfish. You understand? Because you can't tell me that you're looking at your country right now, that you're looking at your country in a wholesome view. You understand? And you see it being led by a bunch of people who are now squealing their guts, puking out their guts on each other about the mismanagement, the misuse, the impropriety, the thieving, the lying, and you still support these people? We have the power to remove governments every 5 years. One thing Timothy Harris was right about, that we should move away from this party politics thing. But he come full circle right back with it and talking about he own PLP. There's no more PAM. There's no more Labour. There's no more CCM, no more NRP. It's just unity. Now, if they could have thought that way, to get together, to get rid of Douglas, and now have our country in such a shitstorm, well then we the people on the ground got to begin to think the very same way. You hear me? We, got to begin to think the very same way. If performance truly matters to some people, they will begin to think the same way. Once you don't perform, once we take a look at our economy, when we take a look at the country, and it ain't moving from point A to point B, and all you're getting is excuses, it's somebody else's fault. At them there. And then the person says, how you come with me? When you and over here do this, and over here do that, and over there do that. And we still stand with these people? Where somehow you ain't deserve no friendship, somehow you ain't deserve no respect, somehow you ain't deserve a goddamn thing. Because after all that you're seeing and hearing now, you still a palance your ass up and down the place to talk about you still this and you still that and you're sticking with this and you're sticking with that? Well, you must be an ass. You must be one ass. How? How much I listen to Patches Monday night? I don't listen to him. I do not. But a friend of mine called me and asked me if I listen. I said behind him, me don't listen to garbage there. From morning, me not listen it. And worse now that he spill he got spanayo, me not listen it. And I felt so bad saying so because I'm the kind of guy, I like to listen to everybody and listen to all sides because when I speak, I want to speak about what I hear, not what somebody tell me. And I find more often than not, that's exactly how a lot of people in St. Kitts and Nevis to talk. They talk based on what somebody tell them. They weren't there, they didn't hear it for themselves, but they're talking with authority, like they were there, like they heard it for themselves. Somebody tell them so. And last night when I finished work at the radio station about maybe after 10. I came home and I said, you know what, Ike, go listen it. Are we going to start there first? Because I don't know how many of you watch the PAM Town Hall meeting, the last one that they had, down in Sunny Point. I think it was, if I remember so. But the one in Sunny Point, where Sean spilled his guts about a lot of things. What he purchased from the bank, what he sell, trying to defend himself against the accusation now being hurled at him from the people who he shared a platform with, sat in a cabinet with, and who he's now confirming that they've been shit since 2015. And even before 2015, he knew shit about them. But yet still, he was one who brought them to us, presented them to us, and said, this is it. These are the honorable men. Now you're here who had court case in 2010 because they thief somebody money and carry a check Nevis and all kind of shit. You're here. And so I want to ask the people at Sandy Point a serious question. For the past 7 years of having a government of your choice, were you able to go to the bank and purchase a villa? Were you able to go to the bank and purchase a piece of land in an affluent neighborhood? I mean, I know Sunny Point people didn't want to go live nowhere else. I don't know how the hell I ended up in Bassie, but I was following them and I was following the work. But which one are you could do that? Based on how the country has progressed, based on the position that you were put in, based on the policies that were put in by the representative. And I'm going to say this right here, there, and then. Just like Sean, I wanted to hold fast to principle. He was my personal friend. And so I never used to hit him as hard as I used to hit other people. And now, I'm sorry that I never did. Because the things that I'm learning now, that he was behind with regard to me. And he gonna have to come to me as a big man and say, Ike, this is it, and Ike, and he's never done that. I either had to go through a third party to get him to say something to me. And I bited my tongue at this time because I really pissed off. I was really thinking that Sunny Point people were a lot better than what they are right now. They're going to mope, they're going to bawl, they're going to complain, but when school call in, everybody put on the yellow shirt and they're gone. And the Labour people, them, boy, don't get me started on them people here. Instead, you do what you need to do to amend and to fix issues and to go out there and to assure people. You lay it back and wait till somebody else do it. When this whole thing started, I say, Pam, hush. Sean, hush. Just watch and wait. I even made a statement on issues, and PLP people cut it and was using that. Patches was playing it on his show. Never had ever had any cause to listen to anything that I had to say until it suited him. When I said in this whole thing, all I'm hearing from CCM and Pam is prime ministership and CBI money. And when you listen to Timothy Harris, he talk about progress, plans, and policies. He talk about what he could do for the people, what he has done for the people. And them though with abuse, I talk about who not get prime ministership and who not get CBI money. Power and money. That's what them man know that talk about. And he cut out that and he went with it. But you see the difference between me and these people? I consistent. I consistent in what the hell I say and what I present. Very consistent. If it's black, it's black. I don't give a shit who do it. But some of these presenters, some of these people on radio, some of these social media influencers, they have a script. And because they have a preference and a script, they have to stick to that. So regardless of what they see, it has to always be. So they're not consistent. Now, I see a thing going on where Shady Live making some big squall because Labour took what he said and is now using it on their platform. And feel quite distraught that they are using it. How dare they? But I tell people, you know, if I don't understand how this world really works, if I don't understand how social media really works, somebody will just go away, you know. Just go away. If you say it, nobody say it in your voice. But you see, some people, when they get up to talk, they speak from a place of emotion. And nobody say you can't be passionate about what you say, you know. But if your emotions is going to run away with you, so that there's a disconnect between your tongue and your brain, you're in serious problems. And so when you get up to speak from a position of authority, your credibility will always be questioned because you're not consistent with your analysis and with your utterances. That's the one thing where a lot of people don't like me for becoming consistent. Everybody knows that my political preference is Labour. But I have no problem with saying Labour do shit on point A, point B, and C. And if Labour people want to come for me, let them come. Because I know to answer all of them. You hear? I have no problem with calling it as I see it. And if I see shit, I call shit. I'm not going to see shit and say, oh, I standing with my leader. You're crazy. And if you can't offer a good explanation to me, I tell you, well, you can offer a good explanation to me, and me not see it. But not these people who trying to present themselves as presenters. Their credibility is shot. They're not consistent. They're going to say one thing today, ain't give no good position, ain't give no good explanation. The explanation or whatever they say ain't steeped in no fact. Just simple emotion and because that's my party. And then tomorrow they say something else. And so people only come around them just for the little news and the little show. You can't take nothing of substance from what the hell they say. No sensible person want to run a conversation with them. As the person Tanya does say, exactly, EK, you have someone who think you shouldn't say anything when the party you support messing up. Well, good to them. Good for them. If a one thing I work, well, two things I work upon me, I know for sure working, is my conscience and my mouth. My conscience never left me. And that is why some people they vex with me for Good Morning St. Kitts Nevis, because I call it our seat. I called it how I saw it. See, young flames, proper, old and proper from long time. He get up and he stated categorically on social media how he felt about the tenure of Sean Richards as the representative for Sunny Point. He not satisfied. There's lots of other things that he see could have been done and should have been done. But I could bet you sweet dollar that when the roll is called up yonder, young flames will be Pam. And this is the kind of behavior and mentality that keeps politicians like those in position. And the same thing happened over in Nevis. They just like him. But when you look at his performance, it ain't there. Let's go to Nevis. Because Mark Brantley loved to say that St. Kitts people should keep out of Nevis politics. But every chance he get, he try a missile over here. Every chance he get, he come down here to tell us that Tim and Sean is the best thing for the Federation. No, he not say so. But he want to tell people, oh, don't support the NRP, don't support this, don't come into Nevis politics. But he must, every chance he get, be down here in our politics. Every chance. Look at the state of Nevis. Who could manfully say, with a clear conscience, that something a go on, that something a keep? But they love them Mark Brantley. Who could tell them don't love them Mark Brantley? Love you, Mark Brantley? But when you don't love your Mark Brantley, watch your country and tell me. Watch your country and tell me. And this is where the NRP need to get on the game. Change your approach. Change your tactic. Because of Mark, when people out there control the narrative. That is what they did for the last 7 years. And prior to that, when CCM first won, before he became the premier, they were controlling the narrative, using social media to control the narrative. Recently, I see this talk, and I asked the leader of the NRP, so the last time that I was able to interview her on Freedom FM. Because I was of the impression that NRP was saying to the people of Nevis and to the people of St. Kitts by extension that they're not going to run the same candidate in the local and in the federal, which is a fair takeaway from what the conversation was. But when broken down to me by the leader of NRP, what the amendment says in actuality is that the person will not hold a portfolio. What they actually said in the resolution, in the amendment that they made, is that no one person will hold 2 portfolios. You can hold a portfolio in the NIA and still be holding a portfolio in the federal government. But here's where we need to do a better job of connecting with the people so that the people know exactly what is going on. I had to learn this because I was also of the impression, just like Trevi, that NRP say that they now run the same candidate for both federal and NIA, because what has happened, and everybody knows this, you cannot work these 2 jobs at the same time. You can't serve 2 masters in the Bible And now we love to go church and quote scriptures. You cannot serve two masters at the same time. Somebody is going to suffer. Because there's only so far that your attention can stretch. And let's call it for what it is. After 7 years, Mark Brantley said to the people at Nevis, give him the 3 seats so he would have a better position to go down and fight for you and bring back what Isaiah won. He brought back 400 million. But he's saying that's not enough. He wants a lump sum payment of 25% of the CBI receipts. And after 7 years, he ain't get it. And he wants you, the people of Nevis, to now join his battle again. If Mark Brantley didn't realize that Timothy Harris was a bitch and wasn't intent on giving Nevis the fair share just so, Mark, you should have kicked down the apple cart in a 2020. You should have kicked it down. Because he don't know his place. So says you. And we then ask, well, Mark, yes, you sent the letters and Timothy is saying that you made no cabinet submission. You fire back and say, this no need no cabinet submission. We got the Charlestown card. We just no need that. But partner, as a lawyer, you should have known that governments operate, a government's mandate, a government's role, a government's job is explicitly outlined by the Constitution. And so you want to change the narrative now and to try to tell Nevis people that, number one, you did all that you could have done, except that. And somehow Timothy Harris is the boogeyman. And the next boogeyman you want to blame because you want to secure your political position, the next boogeyman is NRP. And so you find time to be launching attack in this campaign at 2 people, Timothy and NRP. Well, how the ass is NRP fault that you come down here, sit in a cabinet for 7 years, collected 2 salaries every single month, and 4 salaries every December for 5 straight years, and Nevis people don't get a fair share. Can you explain that? All now you can't explain. You're up and down the place, a hop and a puff, and a carry on, and a go on, and a go on, and wait. But where is your stewardship? Where is the piece of legislation that you drafted? You drafted the Charlestown Accord, lovely piece of document, even though I've never read it, but I've heard so. And you couldn't draft a goddamn bill. Move a motion to have something amended, to push the process, and take us through the process. You're going to take us to a campaign. A campaign is very costly. And it is nationwide, across the entire country. But you could launch that to secure your seat in public office. But you can't launch a campaign to bring awareness to the people of Nevis with regard to how you're going to move forward from a constitutional standpoint to get them their fair share. Are you lazy now, your ass? Lazy now, your ass. Mark did not draft shit. See? I don't know. Lazy. So you go out there, you feed the cow. You get us visa free to all these lovely countries. Okay, fine. But you not make sure that you put something in place so that when your brother go out and sell the milk, that you have an agreement, an arrangement in the Constitution, and you say it ain't so easy to amend the Constitution. After 2020, you had 9-2. Or you was toting this thing 9-2 is the score now. You had more than a 2/3 majority because all you need is 8. You had 7 in 2015 to up to 2020. Patrice Nisbet was over in the opposition benches. He had 1 NRP seat. You did not test the water, so no, you can't confirm whether NRP is with your fight or not, because you did not launch the fight the right way. You know, as a lawyer, you can't go in court with no half-ass defense and no half-ass case. You got to cross your T's, dot your I's, do it properly. You know this. So why sensible people, just because they're on a board, or just because they get something, or just because you're lying with them by a bar, up and down on social media chat shit? How? Explain to me. Nevis people said in no uncertain terms, we don't give a shit if somebody's working in the NIA and go down and work federal. We don't give a shit. The vast majority of Nevisians have said to the world, said to Nevis, said to St. Kitts, said to everybody, we don't give a shit about the position or the problem or the issue, whatever you want to call it. We don't give a shit if the person who represents us federally is also representing us locally in the NIA and collecting 2 salaries. We don't give a shit about that. So now a poster comes out. Make sure the poster will come out that got CCM people up in the feelings. And that's why I put it in my rotation, because I want to see it. So this poster comes out, and it appears that the federal campaign is being launched. Running in the federal, you have Rohan, you have Dr. Hodge, and you have Ms. Bartlett. You understand? They would have launched these candidates locally as well. And now they're launching them federal because Mark them decide that 2 years in after a general election was a good time to upset the apple cart to force an election. And them force it. So now that they papish themselves and force an early election, they now want to attack the NRP for not having enough time to feel people are separate and apart from local and federal. And somehow it's NRP's fault. Well, how do you ask everything come NRP fault? You are sitting at the table, you got 3 seats, and everybody you blame Rasta? Well, how that makes sense to sensible people? How? I ain't on the vision, I ain't got no dog in the fight. But how does that make sense? That you said, I don't give a shit. The Constitution ain't tell me I can't take 2 salaries. You use the same Constitution in your argument. The same Constitution you use in your argument for 2 salaries. You're now saying that Constitution ain't mean nothing right now. Let me stick to the Charles and the Code. By your argument baseless. Baseless. But in the same breath, NRP needs to step up their game and stop letting Mark control the narrative. And sensible people agree with this bullshit because they just love the party. It's the same thing happening in St. Kitts. Now let me get back to the Patches situation. Sean asked Patches for a debate. But let me tell all you people in St. Kitts and Nevis, we is not going to get no debate from these people. They're not going to subject themselves to a national debate. They're going to step from part the B and just launch the crap. Because all of them are cowards. And they know they're steep in corruption. So they're not going to subject themselves to that. They can't even subject themselves to a decent talk show with a decent talk show host who can ask them the probing question. Not even that they could subject themselves with. But there are papi show they sell both. Let's have debate. What debate? None of you want no debate. None of you want no debate. Because it's clear to see from the latter leaking and the latter laying out that all of you are damn crooks. It's clear to see. It is clear to see. So all you don't want no debate. 2 recent talk shows have been launched. One by PLP, one by, what do you call it? One by Pam. Pam is now saying after me. I've been telling them this for the longest while. Change your approach, change your tactics. These town hall meetings sound like a barfish. Garbage. And I guess after partner get up and partner start to question them down Sunny Point. Mad old son. The town hall meetings come to an end now. So now it's time to be prestigious. Now it's time to come to the people and give an account for your stewardship. And I don't care at this point in time. Because they never cared, and so I don't care. Look at the 2 hosts. Which one out of those 2 hosts, for those 2 separate shows, are going to ask the probing questions? If you didn't live St. Kitts, if you didn't have experience at JNF, if you didn't have experience in how the entertainment sector is being run and managed, after Akila's speech last night, you would have wanted to vote for Akila. But if you live here, and you experience healthcare, and you experience entertainment, and how they treated us, you would know that presentation last night, oh my God. I got a voice note this morning from somebody who, and the presentation sounds rehearsed. I kid you not. I kid you not. The presentation that I get this morning on the phone, it sounds rehearsed. You hear? I don't know who it is. I can't say if the person credible. I just don't know. But I would want to share it with all you, so I could hear for yourself what people really and truly think about Akila's presentation. Me not say nothing. Me like hear why yourself. Because I can't understand for the life of me how big people could be this way. How?
Now, as someone who works in the Ministry of Health, I was excited to listen to what Akila Byron Nisbet had to say in her interview last night. Because working in the Ministry of Health is horrible. The conditions are horrible. Everything is horrible. Everybody that works in it knows it. And every citizen that has had to be a part of that system, they have felt how horrible the entire system is with regards to its functioning. And I wanted to see what the minister had to say for herself after a multitude of health scandals in which persons in St. Kitts lost their lives and in which the families of those persons have to deal with the repercussions of that for the rest of their lives. In a system in which when we had a task force that locked down everybody, took away their livelihood, and went on television more than one time to say that they're just doing their civil and national duty, that documents were leaked showing that each of them were paid thousands upon thousands of dollars each. I wanted to hear what she would have to say for herself. And as expected, just like everybody else in Team Unity, she's proven that she's lies, she's bad, she's dangerous, and she needs to go. Nothing but lies from beginning to end. And let me easily prove how everything that she was saying was a lie. She went and said there that she said that she improved doctor salaries. Well, me went and me asked 23 individual doctors from last night when she said so. Each of the 23 doctors say up to now they're not getting the increase, so they don't know what she's talking about. Those that are on step, still on step. Those that were getting $3,000 a month, still getting $3,000. Those that were getting whatever they were getting, they're still getting it. So she lied. A full, bold-faced lie. And I know that all of those doctors who did not get any increase in salary up to now, that they will never vote for her. They already weren't going to vote for her. But for now, for sure, they have made up their minds that they're not voting for her. The only person that has talked to them with sense is the same Dr. Drew. And the only person that could fix the health situation is the same Dr. Drew. But I will continue. She listed out a barrage of things that she claimed were done to improve healthcare in St. Kitts. She claimed that there were new X-ray machines. She claimed that there were new ultrasound machines. She claimed that new beds were added. All kinds of claims. Let me tell you something. This same government here, this government that wastes millions of dollars on media propaganda every single year, this same government in which if they give somebody a quart, they're going to take 1 million pictures giving the person a quart. This same government in which if they kick a pebble, they're going to bombard you with propaganda for weeks about the fact that they kick a pebble. You're trying to tell me that that same government did any kind of improvement whatsoever in that hospital and they did not broadcast the hell out of it? These same people who give mattress to people and take pictures of the flat mattress with people, these same people? You got to be joking. When they get in knocked about left, right, and center about how bad the hospital be, and the perfect counter from a long time is to say that you improve something or you add a machine. These same people were so humble that they don't say nothing. An X-ray machine is a big, big machine. It's a big contraption. Just to move that to the hospital hallway, you have to halt all operations. Nobody could say that any X-ray machine was secretly added to the hospital. Have you ever heard anybody say they see any machine being dragged through the hospital? That's all I'm asking, if you've ever heard of that. This same hospital, there have been ceremonies in this hospital when somebody donates just a simple box of medicine. They stop everything, they have a whole big ceremony, to put chairs in the hallway, they invite all of ZIZ and they're shaking hands and taking pictures. That same hospital, a whole X-ray machine gonna go in the hospital and they ain't take advantage of that and take pictures of that? An ultrasound machine is a big contraption on wheels and thing, and it costs thousands of dollars. You want to tell me that them there get a whole ultrasound machine and them there ain't taking the pictures of that? If you go to the hospital right now and try to get an ultrasound done, it's going to take you a month. And when you ask questions, they're going to say things like this broken, that broken. It's not the fault of the staff. But the X-ray machines, the ultrasound machines that they have there, they just don't work. And you want to tell me that somehow they get a new one, so they buy it mash up? And they sneak it in and they're so humble? Give me a break. There is nothing that was added or improved to healthcare because these people would have done so much media broadcasting and propaganda on it. They would have made sure that everybody knew, and they would not have to wait until Akila went and said in some kind of interview that they did these things, but they were just quote unquote seen or unseen. I don't know what kind of hallucination she's suffering from when she's talking about seen or unseen. Speaking of hallucinations and seen and unseen things, I was very offended when Mr. Nittel went and said that the responsibility of persons with mental illness, it rests on the families. That is such an insult. And that lets everybody know that they have never had to deal with somebody with mental illness before. These people, when they have serious mental illness, they are a threat to themselves and to everybody around them. The family members have to call police and thing. And sometimes these people are uncontrollable. That cannot be the responsibility of the family members, them alone. Anybody would tell you, any family member would tell you they tried everything in the power, but they cannot control this person and they walk in the streets. And that is why you need the support of the mental health system. There is no mental health system to support the families. The families are willing. Every time an opportunity comes up to try to help their family members, they are there and they are willing. But the system is horrible. And for you to then further blame and say everything bad that you see is because of the families and not because of the government, that is an irresponsible statement. And every single family that is suffering with someone with mental illness in their household, they should never vote for Akila Byron Nisbet and the garbage that she's trying to put forth. I'm not even going to let myself get upset and even think about anything else. From those things alone, Akila has proven herself to be absolutely unelectable. And the back end of her will be the only time when healthcare in St. Kitts and Nevis actually improves. I don't even care about entertainment and IT because she ain't even do nothing in those, so those lies don't even count. To say she has an IT degree and our medical system didn't even get digitized or anything, and she had 2 whole years, she didn't even make a pinky toe with regards to advancement with that. Don't even get me started with that. But all I will say is that she has proven herself to be an unelectable candidate, and she's made some enemies that will never vote for her. And that 2-year stint will just go down as a negative bloop in history, and we will soon correct this mistake in constituency number 3. Yes, there's one additional thing that really bothered me about the presentation that I didn't get to mention. In the presentation, Akila made the claim saying that there was one psychiatrist that we had, and she thought it was too much work for one, so she went and sourced a second psychiatrist, and now we have two psychiatrists working in the field. Let me just explain something to people as to why this is no achievement. The psychiatrist that we had from before, her grasp of the English language is notoriously poor. All of the staff know it, as well as the patients know it. That is very dangerous when we are dealing with psychiatry. Psychiatry is the one field in medicine which is nearly 100% talking dependent. You have to be speaking to the persons in a manner in which they can understand, and they, in turn, have to be able to understand you. You have to be picking apart pieces of words, and you have to understand the language very, very well. To have a psychiatrist that does not comprehend the English language well and cannot speak it well, you have a useless person on your hands. Now, when you couple that with the fact that persons that have severe mental illness in our society, some of them, they're not able to get a good education. And in that case, the only thing they can speak is the dialect. And those persons, they come with the same complaints. The complaints that they have is that they cannot understand this lady, and this lady cannot understand them in turn. And when I'm asking them, what is the interaction like, they say, well, they had to stop going because all the interaction was is she just asking, you go? Oh, you go? Okay, everybody go? Okay, everybody good. That's all she could say, everybody good. If you good, everybody good. I've heard some other things, some other claims about such incompetence being displayed in other areas, but it's a useless person. The new psychiatrist that they happened is also somebody fresh off the boat in Cuba, and she cannot talk any English at all. So we have one that can barely speak English and one that cannot speak any English at all. Those are useless persons in the system. They're not able to really help people like how they're supposed to be helped. Is it better than absolutely nothing? It's better than absolutely nothing, but is it appropriate and something worthy of boasting on? No, it is not. The truth with regards to psychiatry in St. Kitts is that there's no one on planet Earth that has that skill, aka they have that training in psychiatry and that they can speak English, that is willing to come to St. Kitts to work. Every time they're able to trick someone into coming to St. Kitts to work as a psychiatrist, they only last for a couple of weeks maximum. They come, they see the system being so broken, and they leave. The pay is low, the compensation is low, you don't have adequate staff, you don't have adequate support, you don't have adequate anything. And they just say, well, it doesn't make any sense that I leave whichever country I came from to come to St. Kitts to work in these conditions and to work with this lack of proper things in the year 2021, 2022. It doesn't make any sense. So they all leave. And they don't have any shame in it because instead of improving the system or improving the offer or being honest with the offer, they just accept the fact that they're just going to not try to improve the situation with regards to genuine improvements with psychiatry. Now, the right thing to do would be to find someone from St. Kitts, some kind of young doctor that shows an interest in psychiatry, and then assist them in terms of their funding and their training, and then have them come back, because at least they're going to be from here, and at least they'll be able to talk the language. But they are not doing that. And the fact that she chose to try to boast on that just gives you an idea as to the things that they do, the backwards way in which they operate, and the way in which they still try to look praise when they do things absolutely wrong.
Watch right. As I said before, when I first heard this voice note this morning, and the mere fact that he went down the Dr. Drew Road, I was kind of skeptical because I didn't know who the voice belonged to. But now I'm getting the information as to who the person behind the voice is. It's a doctor. And I'm sure that from listening to the detailed outline of how she lied last night, it is clear to see that this person actually works in healthcare. The reason why I was skeptical, because nobody gave me the back information on it. And I know right now, you can't take nothing for granted. But I'm now being informed that the voice belongs to a doctor. But the part will catch me now. You go, everybody go, you go, okay, we go. What the fuck is it? Boy, this you want a doggy.
Yes. That's him, yes.
People, what did I just say? If you don't live in St. Kitts and Nevis, Akila's presentation last night would have you riveted. Amazing job in just 23 months, Miss Minister. Oh my God, we're moving. But if you live here, if you work in healthcare, if you ever have need to access healthcare, you would know the truth. Here's the truth. Here's the truth. When we say that our people have to get sponsor sheets to gather enough money to fly out to get specialist care because it's not available here, and you ask the question, well, why? Only to find out that there's somebody in the healthcare system who, because their ego is so inflated and so large, doesn't want anybody to come to this country to upstage them. And this person is so busy being God and having their egos being attacked that they are doing everything in their power to see to it that specialists don't come here. And then when they do come here, you got to buck up with this shit. You got to buck up on this shit. Well, I'm sorry for the doctor there, because knowing these people, they're going to squeeze his balls till he pop. Because this is the kind of attitude and mentality that stops us from progressing as a country. When people hear criticism, instead of sitting and listening and saying, okay, let's see how we could fix this. Oh, you criticize me? Let me see how we could fix you. I want me to say it again? The people who we put in charge of our affairs, some of the people at the very top of these institutions in our government, when they hear criticism, instead of saying, okay, let's sit down and see how we could fix this, their first response is, let me see how I could fix you. For even thinking or suggesting that you know something that I don't know. What tell I during the pandemic? We got a bunch of egomaniacs. A bunch of egomaniacs running with system. Main tell I, sir. And when I say it, nobody has studied me. Who's that old little dirty foot black boy who the eater from Sunny Point? Who the hell he think he be? He not got no letters in front of his name. He got two in the middle, but he not got an in front. Who the hell he think he be? I tell you, sir. A bunch of egomaniacs. The only thing that they're concerned about is their money and their ego. They stand up and they say, oh, you're criticizing us unfairly because we're giving of our time and national service. Now come to here, man, and man, I get $7,500, $15,000, $27,000. You hear? Huh. Huh. Well. Are you here? Are you hear what the doctor say? What she say and what the doctor say are two entirely different things. The man just say the person who she bring can't talk no English. Well, how they ask? Boy, you can't make up these kind of things here, you know. She gone and ready to gloat about the psychiatrist where she bring because the one here was getting too much work. The one here couldn't understand no English. And she bring one we can't talk none at all. I know of an instance where somebody from here who does psychology wanted to come back here to practice and to serve our country. And some little pissy skin PS. You understand? Block that because they don't think that the person deserves what they're worth. Well, you have to come and fit in this the pay scale. So you got all this qualification, all this experience, and you must fit in under somebody who ain't damn well near as qualified as you, and you collecting less pay under them, under their instruction. But what kind of piamping army all-time system are we working about pay scale? And in the meantime, you have on contract retired people who are collecting Social Security, collecting pension, and still collecting a salary. So it just goes to show you that these people don't really want any substantial change in the systems that we have here. You go, everybody go. And you got a bunch of backside, a bunch of ass lickers calling in last night saying, "You great job." Well, let me tell you something, people. And last night I witnessed it for myself because I got the clip of Nital instructing the technician who was there. Because once you call into their show and you ain't saying what it is they want to hear you say, cut. That person has an agenda. Cut. That person is trying to ruffle the minister and ask her tough questions. Cut. But I need to tell you how to be ashamed of your damn self about your whole show. So then why you keep shofar? If I know anybody calling, why keep shofar? If I know anybody calling, why keep shofar? Why keep shofar? Semi ass. If you can stand up on the lights, in the sunlight, and give an account for your stewardship, that you have to go on a talk show and do this bullshit, it says a lot. It says a lot, Rasta. What time it is now? 6 after 10. I want to play a little piece of Patches Guy, you know. Really and truly. So I could hear what I really got with these people here. And what he had to say about Sean. You hear? I want to hear to yourself. Because for the life of me, I can't understand how is it these people still command support. And people still call these people honorable. I hear Mr. Politics and Culture and rock and all. Hey. Are you listening here? Because I just don't know what to say bye.
His relationship with Halstead Isles, if any. And what does Sean Richards know about the development of 6 acres of land by a company called K.I. Homes? Sean Richards must also tell us about the Island Main Road and the Old Road project. Let's talk about those projects, Sean Richards. The Island Main Road and the component of that project, to wit, the Old Road Bay project. And here is the second observation, Sean Richards. 36 lights are required for the Old Road Bay, which were to be installed by SKN, and this has been delayed. Rock and Dirt were instructed to erect the foundations for these lights. However, they have been given only 11 sets of bolts for the light poles, and more than 3 months, no further work can be done by Rock and Dirt, the contractor, as all the bolts for 25 lights cannot be supplied, despite the assurance by the chairman, Don Boncampo, and the general manager, Jomo Williams, both of SKN, that lights and bolts were available since October of last year, October 2021. So the question is, Sean Richards, as the minister with responsibility for public infrastructure and SKN, simple question: where are these 25 lights and the 100 bolts, which are approximately 3 feet long for the foundation, which are causing over 3 months of delay in completing the lighting for the Old Road Bay project? And who is accountable for the cost of that delay? The other question, Sean Richards: are these the same lights at the Magnolia residences and condominiums being developed by KI Homes? And what, again, I ask the question, is your relation with Sean Richards, if there is any? What is your relationship, Sean Richards? Let me see if I got that right. What is your relationship, Sean Richards, with Halstead Isles, the developer of KI Homes? And when you respond, if you respond, I will provide more information on the cabinet submission that you brought to the cabinet. I was there, remember, you reminded me that Hallie is my cousin. And for full disclosure, my Straight Dog family, Halstead Isles is my cousin. You open your mouth, Sean, and these other stories jumped out. These other stories jumped out when you open your mouth, Sean Richards. These are the stories.
You see why me can't listen to the Bible? I have a hard time keeping up. But when I said that they're eating each other, this is what they're doing. Because he went down on a big rant with Cindy Deming, and Cindy Deming tried to call him, and he opened the lines, and then you hear the papi show them start to call him. Anyway, before I go any further, I just want to wish my good buddy, my good friend, my real friend, Mr. Curtis Cook, a blessed, happy birthday, my Lord. I wish you many more. I wish you all the success and prosperity and long life and love that you deserve, my Lord. Blessed earth strong to you. So as I was saying, he took out his pretext last night and Cindy Deming based on what Wendy Phipps would have said on she first press conference with the credit card and the person signing a check. Well, based on what he said, the same Halstead Isles that he called to ask about and he made some accusations against the same Halstead Isle and Sean Richards to do with the poles down in Sandy Point. 4 poles, he said, cost $1 million and something to install. And they installed those 2 poles on Sandy Point, and the cost that was put in was $1 million. So if 4 poles cost $1 million to install in Warner Park, how it could cost $1 million to install just 2 down so? It would have cost at least, $500,000. So he asking Sean to answer these questions. He asking Sean to also answer questions about the check that Wendy Phipps said that a director wrote to himself. Apparently, according to Patches, the director is also the said Halstead Isles. And so Sean had to remove him from the board. I don't know how all these things go. Because when you hear the shush when you try to ask the question, where they come out and say, Team Unity is the best. The best there was, the best there will be, and the best there ever will be. We are doing well. Surplus after surplus. The score is 9-2. Douglas bad. Every time you ask them a question, surplus after surplus, Douglas bad. Wait, rah. Don't ask us no question. All is well. Now hear them. Hear Patricia. Hear Sherry. Hear Shauna. You understand? Eating one another alive. Well, I'm supposed to have Mr. Halstead Isles on issues today, immediately following my conversation with Dr. Terence. Dr. Terence will be on at 1:30 to 2 o'clock, and then Mr. Halstead Isles will be on from 2 o'clock until 2:30. So, tune into issues today. That's if Mr. Halstead Isles ain't back out. To hear the rebuttal to what Patches say. And mind you, all them in there, he said he been in cabinet. Because Shana said that he left some things plan he does to do. And now he say, wait, why is one big hot stinking dirty mess, And I can't understand for the life of me, after all this failure, after hearing all this garbage, people still run up and down and talk about, I stick it with me, Pam. I stick it with me, Sissy. So I now ask Mark Brantley a question. Mark Brantley want the conversation for this upcoming general election on Nevis to be about fair share. No, Mark. It can't just be about fair share. I want to know what you know and when you knew it. About all this shit that was going on in the government. I want to know. You ain't gonna dictate for Nevis what the campaign gonna be on. Your campaign and fair share ready. We done hear that. That's why you got 3 sheets the last time. We done hear that already. And if the people in Nevis ain't want it for themselves, well, just like how Mark Brantley want to come down here and dictate we elections and dictate we business, well, we're gonna be in Nevis business too. Dictating and campaigning hard. So who don't like it, too bad. And when I see me Nevis, I could run out of Nevis, no problem. But don't forget, Mark Brantley said my passport is saying it's a Nevis, Oh. Because these politicians, they love to shape reality with their words as opposed to expressing reality. You hear? Well, none of them going to papi show me. And who fear to talk, good for them, but not me. As I tell them already, pay me to hush. Because I don't lose a lot of money under all of you. Because I talk. So who ain't want me talk? They either leave me alone, ignore me, or pay me to hush. So when I see me go on vacation, I just know I get me sugar cake. Coming here to kiss nobody's ass for no money. You cannot pay me to talk, but you can certainly pay me to keep quiet. Because I've tried to be as consistent as I possibly can. Very consistent in talking about the issues. We don't talk about people and their personal life. I don't want to know how much woman Patches got. I don't want to know how much man any one of these ministers got. I ain't want to know. That ain't my concern. Because I have girlfriends and I love them to death. What they do in the bedroom at their personal business, I don't give a shit. But when it comes to the business of the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, I got every right to ask you a damn question. And if I want to say Ike fat, if I want to say Ike ugly, if I want to say Ike black, okay, fine. Now that you've gotten that out of the way, could you please answer my question? And that's why I try to show Curtis all the time. You can't let these people ruffle your feathers to the point where you lose track of what you're trying to accomplish. You may want to call them thief, but not to their face. Especially when you got them in a forum where you could question them. You got to be tactful. What make you think none of them want to come and have a conversation with me? Because they know, one, they can't ruffle my feathers. Two, they can't run the circles over me because I know exactly what I go on. And if they ignore my question, I'm going to ask my question 5 and 6 times in different ways, just so that they answer. And people could see exactly who we're dealing with. They don't ruffle me, you know. I'm a consummate professional. You hear? In my own little form, I'm going to rant and I'm going to rave. But when you got them in front of you, you have to be tactful. You have to be tactful with them. They're going to always say things to ruffle your feathers, but you got to maintain your focus. And that's what I've been trying to tell Labour people for the longest while. Are you like rabid dogs, biting up at everything we're passing back? No, focus. Focus on the issues. Keep asking the probing questions. See all this thing you want to go on? It needs to be highlighted every single day. Now come in a PR thing about, she said, no. Stick to the substantive matter. Somebody trying to get me to say, oh, she wasn't present at the EMT graduation. Okay. That's the way you're trying to hold on to? Well, you can hold on to that. But me going to hold on to the bigger issues. Now Timothy said we're going to get the MRI machine. We party be. Mental also. When he made the announcement and everybody jump and say, yay! We're getting an MRI machine at the hospital. I said, no, I'm going to reserve me clap until I actually see the presentation. I'll know me not see the presentation. Well, maybe we might get it now that we're closer to election. Because right now, Timothy doing all kind of shit in the background, you know. While man and man out here abuse and a cuss, Timothy Pandigwang a cement his hole and saying it's a Nevis, you know. Trying to do the most, you know. Land, money, this, that. Me going to make sure. Because me deserve it. Because me ain't going to forget the amount of licks that he give me. Because just like what Sean said, if you speak against him, he wants to victimize you. As Sean says so, no me. So me know, for them 7 years I've been asking questions. Me know, because I feel it for myself. That certain things try to get blocked and stop with regard to me. And if he not do it directly, he people them around him. So nothing at all don't pass me. So right now, wherever he or she wrote, I deserve it and I'm entitled to it. Take it. Because these politicians, they're like prostitutes. You could get them all for nothing come election time. You hear? But I'm going to go a step further. Take where you could get now because you're going to be dishing out. You're going to be pouring. You're going to be raining manna from the heavens. You know why? They want you to put them back in. But don't you forget what he asked they put you through for the past 7 years. Don't forget. What they're giving you now is what you're entitled to. Then the amount of people that apply for land on a daily basis and don't get through, well, now you could get through. The amount of assistance people apply for to send the children them this place and that place for medical care and for education, well, now you could get through. So take it. But don't forget to check them on their performance when you're going to vote. They might give you a little something now, but how long that they're going to last for? When we saw Timothy putting his people here, there, and everywhere, we questioned it. What Pam say? Nothing. Because they were putting the people here, there, and everywhere. Now patches are come and tell you what happened on a UDC. When they tell you what happened on a UDC and in Scasper, and now they're going to tell you about what's going on in Skillet because they're supposed to get a press conference this morning, I think, if you don't start already, to bring more news on their tenure. With these Papi Show ain't come and try to tell us exactly what Timothy do too. So they're going to let Timothy one control the narrative. And then when you are questioning about what Timothy has said, they want to jump in your inbox to tell you, oh, don't focus on them. Give them a break. Focus all your efforts on Timothy. But when me ask Timothy questions, what are you do? Are you shielding with all your bomb? Or you allow him to run rampant and the people are saying it's a Nevis. So who must forget are you in all of this? Who? Maya, you're mad. UDC stands for Urban Development Corporation. Who's supposed to be on your side? Anyway, people, my lines open. If you want to call in and bang your mouth, you could do that. Call me. Me give you the number. See the number there? 760 9694. Because I'm cutting off at 11 o'clock. I got things to do. But it just goes to show you what's been happening right now in this country. It just goes to show you. All of them went in there. And instead they do the business of the people, they went to handle their own business. So when them tell you, oh, how busy they be, and how this and how that, because they're busy working on their own business. Sean, how in God's name, based on your salary as a minister, you could be a petty bank them kind of sugar cake there. Where the extra sugar cake come from? Where you come from, my lad? Let me take a call here. Caller, good morning, you're on.
Morning, my lord.
Happy birthday to you, my brethren.
And thank you so much, and I want to thank all the people. Ike, right today is not the politics. Today, I'm going to enjoy my day. But I will deal with the situation with the Kilo on Monday, hopefully God's life, based on what she said about us. Because the situation will come out. And you know me, don't lie on me and expect I'm going to lay down. So my brother, and I want to thank to all the people, wish me happy birthday, on my special day, and I'm going to enjoy it to the fullest. Don't forget we have a birthday, everybody. So,
yes, man, definitely.
Yeah.
We might take it over
Okay,
to Nevis too, but anyhow, I'll let you know when I come off.
No problem, buddy.
All right,
Take it
my
easy.
lord.
Thanks.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so that's my good buddy Curtis celebrating birthday today. Big up on your Earth Strong. Yeah, if you want to lend your voice to the conversation, 760-9694. You can call me at any time, and we'll definitely put you up live. And you see, this is the time for people to talk. This is the time. Because I tell you already, when I realized that EK ain't around no more to talk, just bet your sweet ass I go on vacation. You hear? Because there's only so much we could do. The rest got to come from you. The rest got to come from you. This is the time to make these politicians feel uncomfortable. They can't do you nothing. Watch, when they go back in, they're going to just go back in and do the same shit they've been doing. Looking after their family and victimizing who? Ain't talking in their favor. Nothing new. And you survive that, innit? You survive it, innit? Because me survive it, Me get victimized on the Labour, victimized on the PAM, victimized on the PLP, victimized on the CCM. All of them. And I'm still here. They slow me down, but they don't stop me. The last thing they try to do is kill me. And not that they even could do. You hear? So at some point in time, you're going to have to speak up for yourself. Take this next call. Hello, good morning. Hello, morning. Reconnecting. Somebody's calling on WhatsApp. At some point in time, I don't go stand up for myself. Because they can't do nothing more. What more could they do to you guys? What more? Don't tell me my internet gone, May want to hear that, What more can they do? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, what's up? No, this internet ain't working with me at all, Rasta. The WhatsApp call is not working out. It's last year, But anyhow. Let me see what's going on here. I apologize, but right now the internet behaving like a real team unity. It just now work. Shelly Cross says, damn, EK, you seen it too? I mean, I watch everything, you know. Me don't watch everything, me don't see everything. Mr. Taylor, thank you so much for that. You're more Nevis man than most. Achoo. And just like how Mark Bradley up on a campaign, me going up on a campaign too, you know. And who want to take me make me enemy over that could go right ahead and take me make enemy, you know. Because at some point in time, these politicians got to stop tell so much a damn lie. Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning, EK.
Good morning, how are you?
Last night I called in and then it anyway, I got
You're breaking up. You're breaking up. Hold the phone properly.
Yes, I said last night I called in and after I couldn't get back in, but for surety I got to ask the minister my question, so it wasn't mine. I wasn't mindful of it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we stay focused, and after all you said, you talk, and then at the polls we just deal with them. And I just want to shout out happy birthday to my friend Curtis Cook. Enjoy your special day.
All right, then. Thank you so much. Yeah, man. So I'm going to shut down this live here now, and then I'm going to go listen to the PM to hear what he got to say and see who he dragging this morning. You hear? And I want to see if the people who he's going to attack this morning or whatever he's going to say this morning, if they're not going to come with a rebuttal immediately following. Lord and Father God, I hope that one day these political parties take the people saying it's a Navy serious and see our value. Because I know what's going on with them. We'll take another call here. See if this one will come up. Morning.
Morning.
Hello. Why somehow this Wi-Fi just ain't working with me, Rasta. I don't know. Jen says, good morning, Ika, listening from Orlando. Thank you for keeping us informed. What are your thoughts on Big Light's announcement last night as he's now throwing his hat in the ring in 7? How successful do you think he will be? Big Light is throwing his hat in the ring in number 7. He's going to run against Timothy. Well, he could try. I don't think his chances will be that great if he go in number 7 going against Timothy, because the people over there, watch here. Even if you put Jesus over in number 7 to run against Timothy, he's still going to win. Because whether you want to admit it or not, whether you like him or not, you don't look who he people him. You don't look who he people him. You understand? He don't make sure he people them all right. You know, see, he take up capital and all them there and make them there substantial and viable in St. Kitts and Nevis. It is what it is. You have to see the worth and the value in your people and move according. That's why Pam got to be a ball to the supporters. Come back home, because I didn't value them when they were there. Labour still trying to figure out how is it that some Labour people could have switched over, how some Pam people could have switched. Because you see, when you got people around you and you don't value them, they're going to go where they are valued. It is that simple. You as the leader supposed to know the ebb and flow of what's going on around you. You're supposed to be paying attention to every goddamn thing. So if you allow somebody to come and see the value in somebody around you, and the person moves with that person who sees their value, you can't vex with them. We'll take another question here from the WhatsApp. Hi, you had to advise Pam what you would recommend an overhaul with all new candidates. Finally, would you consider running for office so that you can effect change you want to see? Of course. I have considered running for public office. I have. And I'm going to watch and see what happens after this election and see how best I could set up myself and sort out myself. Because if a political party ain't approach me, then I'm going to have to do it independently and just change the whole dynamics of politics in St. Kitts. I might not be successful in my first go because I understand how the politics in St. Kitts and Nevis goes. They'll only mope and go up when things ain't go their way. But then when school call in, you see what happen. So, it all depends. But definitely, I would like to run for politics. Because me not understand how some people could get into politics and be caught up in them kind of foolishness. The money you want? Me no money hungry, you know. What me gonna do with $10 million in my bank account? What am I gonna spend it on? Me don't go nowhere. I'm not a materialistic kind of person. So me not understand. Yo, it seems as I'm having some serious issues with my internet. The internet are going bad. So people, I don't want to diminish the quality of the show. So I'm going to bid you adieu until the next time. All right? I'm going to go listen to what's going on in this press conference here. Because I tell you before, I like to listen to what's going on. I like to listen to what is going on for myself. And nobody could tell me. All right? So, enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you on Issues. This afternoon, we're supposed to be having Dr. Drew and Mr. Halstead Isles to answer a few questions. So, folks, enjoy the rest of your day. I am going over on the other side. Sorry I have to cut this one short, but seems as though my internet is giving me some serious licks this morning. Trust me. EK, you don't need their money to pay you to stop talk. Their money not clean. Okay? That's okay. That's all right. I totally get what you're coming from. But we don't lose so much of money from these people and the victimizing ways. And they say, you know, that when they go in, they're going to stop the victimization. And to me, they don't do nothing. They don't stand up in the way. They don't stand up to Timothy. But now they want to come stand up to him. And you must join the fight. After they don't make themselves rich. Bye, give me a bye. Watch right. People, have yourself a great day. I am out of here. If I stay here, I'm going to just rant and get vexed. I can't do that. So, goodbye for now. And we'll see you another time, hopefully tomorrow morning, for another edition of Let's Get Real.
Yes,